What's good, everybody? This is EJ,
It's your boy Kenny.
And it's Francis.
and this is the Banter 3FC podcast. We're three friends that love the game and love talking all things football. Before we get into it, I want to let y'all know we are on YouTube, so please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share all of our videos, and show us love on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. All right, boys. What was this? Game week 7?
7, I think. Yeah.
7.
Game week 7. And we are coming up on the second international break of the year, right?
Came up. That
and it
came
was,
up quick.
I know, it really did. It really did. But I think after this one, we don't have one for a little while. So it's just going to be continuous football for a little bit,
And
right?
I think we have one in November.
Really?
Is there one November?
One more in November, I'm pretty sure. And then from like December on, December to like February
March,
or March.
I
we
think.
should be.
Yeah, Francis, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of the international break. We just had the Euros and whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm tired of it, but hey, we move. But yeah, it was an interesting weekend. Some really good games that went on and some very interesting results. So, where do we want to start, boys?
Chronological order, as always.
Chronological?
We both had 10 o'clock games, correct?
No,
Yeah,
it was
two
9
o'clock games in
Sunday.
here.
Sunday, 9 o'clock.
So I had the
Saturday.
Saturday at 10, and you guys had the 9 o'clock.
We had the
Sunday.
9 o'clock, sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Go.
All right, so I guess I'll start. So, Arsenal versus Southampton. I think I predicted this one to be like a simple, calm 3-0 win for us. And it didn't go like that. It was a weird game. So the thing that I'm going to point out to first, there were a lot of like changes in the lineup. Partey at right back, Gabriel Jesus at striker, Raheem Sterling at left wing, Jorginho was in next to Rice, Calafiori was playing on the left, Timber was out. A lot of changes. And we ended up going down. So the first half was it looked very comfortable. It didn't look anything weird to me. Like, we just didn't score. I think we all talked at halftime. I wasn't really too worried. We were talking about other stuff during the halftime break, if you guys remember. And then, we get out of the halftime break. And I think Southampton score like in the 50 or 60th minute or something like that.
55.
50th, yeah.
Okay, so the 55th minute, and it was a counterattack, like it was a break goal. I think it was Cameron Archer that came in and he scored.
Mm-hmm.
And he did his celebration. I know he was happy. Ran over to the the away faithfuls and did that celebration. And it was funny because I think it was like right after he scored, something lit a fire under us, and then we just came. And I think Kai Havertz scored probably like 2 minutes after they scored.
Like the 58th,
and then
58th.
yeah. So then we made 3 changes. We brought on Martinelli, Trossard, and Moreno, and then we just wrapped up shop from there. Like, we just ended up winning 3-1. So for me, it's not a worrying result or a worrying performance from the perspective of there was a lot of rotation. And I think that was more so the reason why the game went how it went. So I wasn't too worried about it. I was happy to see that now we're able to, have rotation and get other players involved when we're playing the lesser sides. But it just goes to show, like what we always say, no game in the Prem is easy, no result is given, so we have to take everybody seriously. So from that perspective, I think we should have just less changes. I don't want to see Thomas Partey playing out of position. I'd rather him play, if we're not going to play him at defensive midfield, just take him off the field and put like another right back in or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see us like completely alter the side and how we play or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. We got the result, and that's the most important thing at the end. Um, I do want to give a shout out to Kai Havertz because I did see an interesting stat. He's scored 7 goals in 7 home games at the Emirates, and that's equaling Robert van Persie's record from all those years ago. I think it was the year before he went to United. So I think that was
Thank
like
you.
the 2011-2012 season, right?
Yeah,
I
because we
believe
won
so.
in 2013.
Yeah. So that was the year. So it's nice to see that Kai Havertz is coming in, doing what he has to do. I don't hear any more of that chatter of Arsenal need a number 9, and I think it's a large testament to what he's doing. So good result. Didn't get the 3-0, but we got the 3-1, so it's close enough. And we move on to next week. Talk to me.
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll make mine quick. I was watching the highlights of this one. I watched the second half live, but what I took out of it from watching the highlights from the first half is you guys, it was pretty much what we thought it was going to be. You guys came out strong. There were a lot of possession in their box, a lot of block shot attempts and stuff like that. They were pretty much scrambling. It would just seem like it was just going to be a matter of time before Arsenal kind of opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
And then, you guys got kind of relaxed. Obviously it's a side that it's inevitable that they're going to get relegated. You got relaxed, and then it bit you starting the second half. Raheem Sterling, I thought he could have finished a couple of attempts there in the first half. It was also him that gave away the ball that led up to Cameron Archer's goal. And
Foul.
it wasn't. So
Just save that point.
but either way, it's nothing too critical. You guys got the job done. Once they scored, you showed your character, scored within 2-3 minutes. And then from there, it was pretty much business as usual. Everyone knew the result was going to go Arsenal's way. But yeah, same things you said. Just stay switched on. You don't want these type of teams to get confidence. If it was maybe a little bit better team, you could get really nervous. But it's Southampton. You got the result. And keep it pushing.
Yeah. Just to reiterate what you guys both said, you guys obviously looked the more dominant team. Justin was able to score a goal in the first half. Raheem Sterling.
I know he couldn't wait. I know he couldn't wait.
Raheem, the what? EJ?
It's your nickname.
No.
No,
It's
no.
your guy now. It's
No,
your guy now.
No. He's on my team. I want him to succeed, but that is your nickname. I didn't come up with it.
Okay, Mr. Sterling. You know what? I want to ask you, how
Talk to
would
me.
you rate his performance? Because from what I saw from watching most of the game and then watching highlights again to re-jog my memory, he was flopping everywhere. And I mean, if you really let's really dissect. He gave the ball away. He kicked himself in the back of the leg, and that's how Southampton got the ball and scored their goal. Like, let's be serious now. So I want to hear.
You want me to be real?
Yes. How is his performance
I-
overall?
I made this comment in the group chat.
Don't
It's
bring
the
up
same
Christian
exact. Stop.
Eriksen.
You stop it.
Don't-
You stop it
don't.
because you swore down.
It's
it was
not
a
the
foul.
same.
It's the same. The same foul that they gifted Man United 2 years ago at Old Trafford when Martin Odegaard stole the ball off of Ericsson.
Fouled.
He wasn't. He wasn't. If that's a foul, then it's the same thing. So
It's
for
not.
me, hey, it's you guys' opinion versus my opinion. It's okay.
Soft.
I think both are soft. If you want to be real, both are very soft. But if that's a foul and they're going to call a goal back for that, it's the same thing here, in my opinion. But regardless of that, that's one small, minute part of all of this. I don't think Raheem played bad. Um, he did have some opportunities, but like I feel like you forget sometimes. Kai Havertz had the same slow start when he came to Arsenal from Chelsea. And what I think it is, you have to de-Chelsify him.
How dare
And
you?
then allow,
How dare you?
you have to de-Chelsify him in order for him to start performing. Because let's not forget,
So
I
disrespectful.
know I know that it was against Bolton, but he did have 2 assists last week. He played well, it was, albeit against lower opposition, but he did play well. All you can do is play what's in front of you. He did what he had to do. So for me personally, no, it was a goal and an assist. I apologize. He's got to de-Chelsify him. Give him some time to get embedded into the system and see what he could do. You're ready to jump on him
I'm not
and
ready to
say
do
all of the.
anything.
No, I promise you are. I see the
For
hatred in
what?
your eyes.
I don't
I
need. I don't
see
need to.
it.
I don't have any hatred in my heart for anyone. That's all. But yeah, he's your
Okay.
player. That's all. Just want to get your opinion on that. But
He
other
is
than
on
that,
loan. He's not my player. He's on loan.
whatever.
You
It's
know,
fine.
I have a comment. This just sparked something. The thing about EJ, he thinks he's slick, and he's not. Remember when Havertz was having his struggles in the beginning, and
Yeah.
EJ wanted to just give him the 1 year
Give him
warranty?
time. Yeah.
He slapped the warranty before we could even say anything. But on the other hand, if the player is doing well, Francis, you and I won't hear a word.
No.
Every week he wants the flowers thrown. But when they're not, he just, EJ, I need to hire you as my, please come on my team, work for me as my insurance person. Because I will, every single time the player is playing well, we can't hear enough of him, Francis. Did you see that pass? Did you see the vision? But if they're not, he needs time. He needs to de-Chelsea. You know, it's just very, very slick, and
It's
I really applaud
disgusting,
you for that.
actually.
I applaud you, EJ, for that. So yes, let's give Sterling time, because Francis, if he starts scoring and assisting, well, he's on Arsenal. It's Arsenal, So we'll see.
No, but like my question for you guys is, it's the same thing with Jadon Sancho, right? There's a bad whatever at the club that he was at previously, but when he left, he started to perform well. But sometimes it takes players a little bit to get out of whatever funk that they had going on at their previous club to perform well at the next club. The reason why I think Jadon Sancho's transition happened a lot quicker is because he spent the second half of last season on loan at Dortmund to get his confidence back up and to get into his groove. So I think when it happened with Kai Havertz, like I said, he was at a club that had no structure, no organization, no plan, no clear anything
You gotta
for him,
relax.
no role. Like, 'cause
Nah, you gotta relax.
listen, I know this is your club, but
Champions League.
I'm not even speaking from a hating or trolling position. I'm literally saying, and you know yourself, and you say it all the time. There's no vision. There's no structure. There were 5 or 6 managers in the span of like 2.5, 3 years. How can a player like get used to a system in that way when the system's being changed every 6 months? You know what I'm saying? So that was my reasoning for give Kai some time to get acclimated and to get out of whatever because there was no structure. Now he's in a team with structure. Look how he's doing. I feel the same about Sterling. He played well last week. This week it's not like he played bad. He just didn't take his opportunities. But as time progresses, it'll get better. It
How
happened
much
with
time are
Jorginho
we
too.
giving
It's
him?
not.
Apparently, the whole year.
No, because remember that what we do with players that go from Premier League club to Premier League club, they get the full year before we judge them, right?
I just want to make sure because he's on loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. We at the end of the year we'll judge them.
Okay. All right. Francis,
Yeah.
you wanna go?
Yeah. So Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. This was so coming into this game, I was very confident. Obviously, we were on a streak of at least 4 or 5 wins in a row on the bounce. So I was really feeling real confident in my team. I'm pretty sure I predicted us to win 2 or 3-0, whatever it was. Credit to Nottingham Forest though. I will definitely give them credit. Obviously, they also started out pretty well so far this year. They're a difficult team to break down. That's not a joke. That's not a lie at all. Definitely a difficult team to break down. Obviously, first goal of a set piece. I still don't understand how we just let Chris Wood. I mean, obviously the ball came in, then it got headed, and Chris Wood got a foot on it, went to the corner, good goal, whatever. I just don't understand why that happened, but whatever. We move, and then Noni Madueke with the answer. Overall, I think Noni had a pretty decent game. He was definitely, you could see he was definitely trying to take charge, definitely being very direct, trying to make some stuff shake and whatnot for the team. There were a couple opportunities where even myself, I did, because there's been a lot of him being selfish just down the third. I'm not hearing none of that. He's just a player who wants to be really trying to give it his all for the team. Obviously trying to make something happen. You gotta respect that. So obviously there are certain opportunities where I thought he could have made a pass in that situation instead of taking on a shot. But overall, I'm not really upset by that at all. But I know I haven't got to the kind of main points of the game. But jeez, Sanchez and Matt Sells. Oh my goodness, these goalkeepers had games of their lives. The saves that we're making were just incredible. I still don't even understand how Cole Palmer, off that touch and that double save that Matt Sells did against him, I don't know how that didn't go in. That was ridiculous. James Ward-Prowse got the red card. So once we got the red card, I'm thinking, all right, boom.
Stupidly got the red card.
But no. So here's the thing. Yeah, it is stupid, but looking back, it looks like a very intelligent play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh no, yeah. Steven Gerrard S.
So I gotta respect it, even that's that shithousery stuff. But I gotta respect it because look at the Nottingham Forest ended up getting a point out of that. So it is what it is. Towards that end of the game, that little back and forth situation where the header came in the box. I think it was Nico Williams who made the header. No, Sanchez with a fantastic save, and then literally 30 seconds later, Mudryk down the left side, cross into the box, and Kunku, you have to score that, my dog. You have to score that. But another great save from Matt Sells. Ends up in a 1-1 draw. These type of games happen. Still didn't lose, but I would like to win. But hey, it is what it is. We move on, man.
Yeah, I'll go. Again, another game that I tuned in late, but Nani Madueke's goal. It came, and I found it funny that right after he scored, his celebration was kind of going back to the crowd, not to the crowd, to your bench, kind of saying like, "I told you." So
yeah, exactly. And
to your
was laughing.
Yeah, to your point, it's obvious that he's showing, either in the locker room or whatever, that like I want to score. You do that type of celebration because you've told it like, this is my day. I'm going to do something. He scores the goal. Even from watching the highlights, he was one of the only players that I'm really seeing that was being very direct, kind of creating chances, half chances, and things like that. And then also with the goal, he had a chance to pass it back to Palmer. That's your main guy. No one would have faulted him for that, but he decided to still take on the goal. And stuff happens. It wasn't the cleanest hit, but it was through a lot of players, and even Mattels couldn't save it right into the corner. Again, with Chelsea, obviously your defense, you guys are always going to be open. What I really wanted to talk about today was what I said last week about Sanchez, and I told you, when it comes to just goalkeeping and making saves that not a lot of other goalkeepers in the world can make, he's your guy, and he saved you guys from possibly losing this game on multiple occasions. So great saves on both sides, like you said, Matt Sells. That play in itself, just a back and forth, Mudryk put it on a plate. I'm
Yeah,
like
great cross.
just watching him run down the flank. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna put this in, and he put it right on the money. So Nkunku, definitely a chance he should have scored, but at the end of the day, with both keepers making amazing saves, I feel like a draw was a fair result.
I also want to mention two things. First thing, Fofana and Cucurella will be suspended because for the Liverpool game, which I'm kind of very upset about. Unnecessary yellow cards from
Yeah.
them, and then obviously, that little melee, the little mini fight, whatever
The
happened,
malice at the bridge.
whatever you want to call it. I actually appreciate that because my God, our guys are riding for each other. We're not backing down from no one. So I appreciate that. So I'm right. I'm riding with them. Simple. But yeah, go ahead.
So, I think that 1-1, I guess you could say it's a fair result. I really do think that you guys, you know how last week we were talking about the cliff?
Mm-hmm.
I feel it coming. It's coming.
Week after
It's
Every
coming.
week. Every
No, no, no,
week.
no, 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 no. This isn't Max Kellerman. This
it is
week,
now.
no, stop. You stop. I let you talk. It's my turn. This week, I promise, bro. James Ward-Prowse doesn't get that red card. Genuinely, this would have been the game that you guys would have lost if he doesn't get that red card. Because even after they got the red card and they were down a man, you guys are still open and you're not dominating the game like how, you know how City dominated the game against us when we went down a man. I would expect you guys to do that because you have the attacking players to do it, to control the game. But it's like, even up a man, your defense is still wide open. That's very worrying. And that's been the dialogue literally the entirety of this season so far. 7 games, that's been the narrative, right? And I know we've talked about who you're playing against. You can only play and beat who's in front of you, right? But now Liverpool is coming up. And then who's after that?
Newcastle
And then who's
then-
after that?
United. I can't wait for that one.
All away, correct?
No. Liverpool away, home against Newcastle, away at Man
Okay.
United, home against
Okay.
Arsenal.
Got you. Okay. So that's what I've been trying to say. My true gauge of where Chelsea is at is gonna be in these upcoming
Yeah,
games.
I said
right?
that last week,
And oh man, I wish James Ward-Prowse didn't get. I wish he didn't get that red card because I've never felt so confident in you guys losing. And I'm not preying on your downfall, but I
Well,
never.
what is this?
I never felt more confident in you guys losing than this past weekend because I was
I'm not
really
praying
watching.
on
I
your
was like,
downfall, but I've never been
Nottingham.
confident. What? You are an enemy. Like I said.
Listen, bro, the way that the game was going, it just looked like you guys are gonna lose. It genuine, and you even felt it yourself watching the game as a fan. Correct or no?
No.
Okay. Because in the group chat, you were pissed. You were pissed.
I was upset that we didn't score. Being up a man, yes, I was.
But again, that's neither here nor there. Want to give a shout out to Jadon Sancho. I think he had another good performance. I think he played well. He was at it, and very attacking, very direct.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, hate if you want to, man.
It's
Hate
not
if you
hate.
want to.
Why you
It
shout
is
out
hate.
somebody else? Why we keep pointing him out for? Shout somebody else out.
You have to allow me to finish. You didn't let me finish. You interrupted.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Again, Noni, you say that he's not selfish, and I
Correct.
understand why. I understand why you say that, but I want to rewind back to last week. Who'd you guys play against last week?
The Wolves.
Brighton.
Brighton.
It was
3.
Brighton.
Brighton.
That game ended up 4-2, but it looked like could have been 5-5, right? I specifically remember when you guys were up 4-2, there were 2 chances that he could have passed to someone at the top of the box to literally kill the game and stop it from being a back and forth kind of situation that he didn't pass because he wants to score. And I get wanting to score. I genuinely understand it. But sometimes it's about doing what needs to be done to kill the game above whatever your stats are. You get what I mean? That's a perspective that I look at it from. But hey, he scored. He got you guys the point. Kudos to him. Kenny, last week, I want to definitely give you your kudos on your shout out to Robert Sanchez. He will make bonehead plays, but my word, he is an amazing shot stopper. Mm-hmm. He is definitely an amazing shot stopper, and without him, you guys probably lose that game 3-1. Without him. Am I right? Let me know if I'm tweaking. Do you see the saves the dude made?
Do you also see the save?
It hurts him.
You see the saves that Matt Sells made himself?
Sanchez is on your team. Can you give him some gratitude?
I have. I already said it. Thank you, Sanchez, for a great performance, for doing your job. Thank you.
It sounds so forced. It sounds so forced.
You're doing your job. Thank you.
Because if it's Cole Palmer, a jam. A jam.
Not even that.
A gem in the making.
To this day, I said it from the very beginning. I wanted Petrovic to be my number one. I don't know why we have him on loan. Because he played great last year. But that's neither here nor there right now. We have to do what we have right now.
The last thing I want to say, y'all call it petty if you want.
So
Dominguez did not get a yellow card for picking the ball up and throwing it away. And I'm not going to lie, every time that this happens, I have to point it out because you guys are going to start seeing what I'm saying about they pick and choose when they want to enforce that rule. That rule isn't like a standard thing where it's like, all right, if you do it, it's the player's fault. It's like, bro, the refs are picking and choosing when they want to enforce the rule. They genuinely pick and choose.
I feel like we've said that.
Yeah, and that's why the rule bothers me. Because it's like, if it's a standard thing where it's like, you know how if you grab a jersey, they always give a yellow card for that? They're standard with that. But they're not standard with this kicking the ball thing. And that's why I don't like it. But we move.
And that's why
Kudos to you guys for getting the point.
That's why players have to be smart just not to do it.
But
Arsenal.
No, I just
that just shows their
want
lack of awareness.
No. You want to make it that whatever. Every team, literally every team is doing it, but the refs are picking and choosing who they want to give a card to.
Y'all the ones getting caught.
That's genuinely what it is. Every other league doesn't have the bad officiating issues that the Prem has, and it's noticeable. That's why these refs don't get chosen for big games in the Champions League, in the World Cup, etc.
I wouldn't go that far. They do get chosen for big
Anthony
games.
Taylor has definitely done a Champions League game.
I wouldn't take it that far.
The big games, like I'm talking about the Champions League quarterfinal, semifinal, final, World Cup.
Anthony Taylor's been in the knockout. I saw it and I was shocked, but he's been there. I'm not gonna lie.
But listen to what you said. You saw it and you were shocked.
Yes.
Because you believe he shouldn't be there, and that's my point.
Because I think he's trash, yes.
And that's my point. You don't think these other refs that you see in the Champions League, etc., you don't see them, you think that they're bad refs.
No, not necessarily.
There's trash refs all over the world.
For sure.
But obviously we focus on the Premier League much more. I think in
the Prem it's worse than other leagues. Like there's a noticeable drop off, in my opinion. Especially with the VAR too.
They should
but
start
again, that's neither here nor there.
Refs.
They
should start promoting and demoting refs.
I think so too. I genuinely think so. But anyways, let's move on.
It's my turn.
To the last game of the weekend.
Francis acting like we lost. Did I watch a different game than you did?
No. But no, it's your turn, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, the floor
The
is
floor
mine.
is yours, Kenneth.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy this one.
Story time. So when I woke up Sunday morning, I woke up early too. I don't know what it was. I woke up bright and early, probably around like
Very
7:30,
very
7:38. So yeah, you know, my boy Gary Neville was on, and he was breaking down the starting lineups. And you wake up, you still think you're sleeping, you're dreaming. I see Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in my starting lineup. And so, I wipe the crust out of my eyes. I look again, and it still says Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans are starting this game. And I said ETH is trolling, and he knows he's out of here. That was the only explanation that I could come up with personally. And then looking back at the game against Porto in the Europa League, it makes sense. De Ligt was awful. Lissandro was out of position more times than not. And I said, you know what, ETH, I low-key support this decision. Moving on to the game, this was one of our best defensively played games in a while. Aston Villa, were they at their very best this game? No. But I'll say that had to do a lot with our defensive structure. For one reason or another, Johnny Evans and Maguire were doing their thing back there. So I give it up to them. Hats off to them. Was it the best game to watch? No. But honestly, I think this was a game that we honestly should have won. We controlled the game better. We had, I think I was looking at the stats, out of, I believe, 11 shots, 4 on target. And then out of 10 shots for them, they only had 1 on target, which came off a corner with Tielemans shooting it from, I want to say 25 yards. Very comfortable save. So it was a game that we were pretty much at the forefront for most of the game. There wasn't a time where it was like, all right, Aston Villa pressuring us, or, a Villa-type game where, they're usually coming in waves. John Duran came in, didn't really do anything. So, yeah, it was probably a game that, if we were clicking offensively, we could have kind of put the ball in the back of the net. Bruno Fernandes hitting the crossbar on that free kick. So, all in all, very, very solid defensive game. Wasn't a pretty game to watch. Not a lot of back and forth. But away at Villa, like we always say, to get a result, to get a point, I'll take it. Especially with that lineup. I'll certainly take it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I was more keyed into my Chelsea game, so I had to kind of catch the hottest on this. But yeah, you guys definitely had a much better performance, specifically compared to the previous game you guys played in Porto. Do we say that Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire is the new starting back pair?
No.
At least,
is that a question for me?
Yes, but at least for now, to kind of weather the storm through this little turmoil. Because, let's think about it. Without them before, you guys have just been kind of scattered anyhow. They came in, solid performance. And I think got subbed in the Porto game, solid performance. And now they come and start this clean sheet. Does ETH kind of ride this wave until, things get a little bit more structured back again?
I wouldn't be surprised. You have to put in players that you trust, and clearly he trusts the experience of Johnny Evans. And also, let's not forget Harry Maguire, how he kind of came up after basically being on the brinks of getting sold. His performances since then. Unfortunate that he got hurt, so we'll see, kind of what that timetable is for his return. But to answer your question, short term, yes, but I wouldn't milk it. You know what I mean? Because obviously Johnny Evans is a very old player. His career's almost done. Shouldn't even be playing for Manchester United. But I wouldn't milk it, but it's a short-term fix. Hey, if they're playing well, why would you bench them?
Fair. All right, yeah. Other than that, yeah, there's a lot of shots from outside the box from both teams. Um, yeah, I do feel like it's one of those games where almost like even if the game went for like another 30 minutes, I'm not sure if anyone's really going to score. But hey, I'm not going 0-0, 0-0. It is what it is. Decent point. Now take this time, international break, kind of regroup, and
We're gonna need
start
to.
your next series. Yeah, yeah, big time. Yeah,
Kenny, I'm not going to let you get away with this.
With
I
what?
won't. I won't. Hold, no, no, no. I won't allow it. I will not allow it. I want to preset this by saying I fully understand clubs in transition. I understand that from the hierarchy down affects everything about a club. You guys have made a lot of changes. New ownership group has come in. They're trying to mesh with the manager that they just hired a couple of years ago after, a decade of chopping and changing managers, chopping and changing systems, et cetera, et cetera. I believe Eric Ten Hag should be allowed to stay through this year to see out and see what the project will look like with the addition of these new players. That's how I feel, right? But I have to ask a question. I actually have to ask a couple questions. Was it a better Man United or was it a bad Villa?
Both.
Because the thing that we always talk about is these new clubs that just get into Champions League, they struggle with the emotional highs and lows and then also the amount of high level fixtures that they have to play throughout a time period, right? They just beat Bayern Munich at home, a Bayern Munich that's way better than what they were last season and is in much better form than they were last season with Vincent Company coming in and a couple additions like Olise, et cetera, et cetera. They look a lot better, right? And they beat them at home. I personally feel that that game affected their energy levels, which led to them playing so low. Because like you said, Villa is a team that's very high energy. They press you, they get at you, high line, and they just keep going and going and going. I didn't see that on Sunday. And it was weird to me because, like, I remember Aston Villa that beat Arsenal at Villa Park in December last year. They literally, in the first 10 minutes of the game, they were. But yesterday, I didn't see that. So, the next question that I have, if you guys can do that against Villa, right? Why, and not be open and defend properly, why is, as a coach, is that not a consistent thing? Right? So, hold on. Why is it not a consistent thing? Because, the only reason why I say that is because we talk about your midfield being wide open all of the time. It wasn't open yesterday. And I'm sure throughout the week, Ten Hag coached and set up a plan to do that. So why, when his job is on the line, because that was the narrative going into the game. If he loses this game or if the performance is bad, whatever, he might get fired or whatever. So why is it when his back is against the wall, he doesn't have any other options, that's when he decides to have this defensive solidity? Because my thing is, I had the Chelsea game up on my laptop and I watched the United game on TV because I felt that the United Villa game would have been a better game to watch than the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game. So I watched it and I watched it in more detail and I just didn't understand.
Yeah.
So
To answer the first question, definitely both. I think it was both a mixture of poor Villa. I wouldn't say poor, just not as good Villa, and improved.
I think it was poor Villa.
and
I think
improved
I think they were
United.
really bad, especially what's his name, Morgan Rogers. I think
Sure.
he had his worst game at Villa so far on Sunday
Yeah,
because he
well,
like he couldn't pass, he couldn't dribble, like he looked poor. He looked really bad on Sunday.
but yeah, but again, I also give credit. I do think to your second question, it was a improved United. Um, Defensively, it seemed like every time Villa was coming down our defense, we were closing those gaps. Like I mentioned against the game against Porto, when Porto had the ball at the edge of our area, our defenders just weren't tight enough. Kind of what Saliba did when I said he gave Archer a little bit too much space for me. Like he could have closed it down a lot earlier. I felt like that was a main reason why Porto got a lot of the goals they did. It's just like our defenders were not closing the gaps, especially when they're in dangerous positions. And Johnny Evans, Maguire, Dallo made a great block in the second half that saved a potential goal. Yeah. So I would say it definitely improved United. To your second question for ETH, that kind of perfectly feeds into my response to this question all the time. Do you think that just all of a sudden ETH is now just saying, okay, we're going to be defensively sound? Do you think it's just this week that all the other weeks where we're open, he's not saying, guys, lock in the defensively sound? Do you think it's just this week? Or did you notice what our players were doing? One, Hazard is back. And what did I tell you about Hazard? He's very good. He understands how to press. He doesn't let Bruno. He does a lot of the running that Bruno doesn't even have to do anymore. And two, you notice how our midfield was structured. I think Mainu and Ericsson did a very good job of not kind of committing too forward. Whereas if we lose the ball, we're not having to run back. And I said before, Ericsson's legs aren't there, so we can't be in that type of game where it's back and forth. I don't think it's anything.
Did Ericsson start the game last week against Tottenham?
No.
Who started? It was Casemiro and Mainu,
Was it Casemiro?
or was it Ugarte?
Ugarte.
I believe it was Ugarte. I believe it was
Ugarte has the
Ugarte.
legs, though. Ugarte has the legs.
I just don't believe that a coach of his stature is now saying, "All right, guys, because I'm not obviously, but the pressure is on, so let's lock in." Like, no, he knows what he's doing. He's a good coach. I just think when players want to implement what the coach is saying, they're gonna do it.
No, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't accept that.
So you think that a coach of his caliber
No,
is just
I
now
think-
this
I think-
week? Let's
I
lock
think
up.
I think this week he decided to coach the team and structure everybody to be more pragmatic.
Just
And
this
the
week.
re- I genuinely believe so, because it doesn't make
That's
sense.
ridiculous.
Hold on. I don't think that it makes sense. You bought, not you, but Ten Hag bought Lissandro. He personally picked him. He personally picked De Ligt. Why would he bring in two players of his choice to not do, they're not doing what he said or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's not working. And then you're going to revert back to Johnny and Harry? Like, I remember what you used to say last year. What you used to say last year is the reason why they're open is because Harry Maguire is too slow to step up and the midfield is pressing. That wasn't the case today. Or, sorry, yesterday. That wasn't the case. So that means, because Harry Maguire and Johnny did not get faster from last year. What the difference is, he set them up tactically and coached them to be more defensively solid. That's the difference.
Just this week.
I genuinely believe his job was on the. No, I'm not even trying to be funny. You have to really.
Just this week.
Bro. So of all.
Think about what you're saying. just
no.
this week. Go ahead.
So last year when Harry was starting next to Lissandro and the midfield was wide open, you don't think that is an issue was an issue last year? So why all of a sudden this game it's not an issue? Why all of a sudden?
You do know that the pressure is on players as well, right? To your point, I just don't think that ETH is now saying just this week. The pressure is on players as well.
I think
if they
week
actually
to
care,
week,
not getting him fired, yeah.
I think week
Yes.
to week, like coaches spend time in practice, setting up tactics, discussing what the game plan will be for the upcoming week. And I genuinely believe that this week he felt the pressure was on, and he literally said to his team, "We will defend first before anything else." And we will sit back and we will defend. And my issue is, if he can do that yesterday, when his job's on the line, why can't that be a consistent thing? That's the only question that I have. Why? The other question that I have is, if you came from Ajax playing a style of football, when you sign a coach, you sign a coach for him to bring whatever he was doing to where your club is. They want you to do what you were doing at your club. That's the purpose, right? I think last year he said something about wanting to be one of the most transitional clubs in the world. Why? You weren't doing that at Ajax. Why are you trying to do that at United? All the players that are here now are the players that he's chosen. So he should be able to implement what he was doing at Ajax here at United. Otherwise, what did you buy the players for? You get what I mean?
So, absolutely. I've answered this question multiple times. If he played the way he played at Ajax with the personnel we have, and stop saying he chose these players. A lot of these players are remaining from the previous regime. If he started implementing what he did at
We went
Ajax
through
from
the
jump,
numbers of players last week, Kenny. They are his players, man. We went
they
through
or
this last
there's
week.
a lot of players that are still part of the previous regime. If he started saying, "Hey guys, let's play the way we play with Ajax," Eric Ten Hag would have been gone 2 seasons ago, after year one, because with United,
I'm
no,
not talking about 2 years ago. I'm talking about now, after he's brought in all of the players, had the time, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I understand it's difficult the first year, maybe even the second year, to implement whatever it is that your true vision is. I 100% get that, and I agree. But I'm saying this is now year 3. He's brought in a lot of players.
It's not a lot of play. Where are you guys getting this from? And
We
again,
just
the
went
other
through it
factor
last
is
week.
hold on. The biggest factor is you guys never seem to remember when it comes to United. We have been inconsistently playing players all over the pitch. We haven't had a straight starting 11. I'm glad Arsenal, your 2 center backs have been playing together for consistently for a month now. That makes a difference. We just got Euro. He can't even play one game with us. That makes a difference. We've been playing players inconsistently all over the pitch.
He wasn't going to start anyway.
He was never going to start.
Yes, he was.
Lenny Yero was going to be a starter.
Over Lissandro Martinez?
Not over Lissandro.
Open him in Euro and Lissandro Martinez.
Look,
Correct.
No, Lenny isn't Lenny a left-footed center back?
He's very good with both feet. So
No,
even in
hold on.
preseason,
Is he dominant left foot, right?
I don't know. I just know that he's very, because I remember in the preseason game before he got hurt, he was playing right center back.
Okay.
But I just know one of his things he's very good with both feet, so it really doesn't matter. So that's one of the reasons why Eric Ten Hag was very high on him. But yeah, that plays a role. So you're saying, oh yeah, the first 2 seasons is really hard. You can't just switch those types of things on. So all right, let's play like Ajax. We get scored on. You're gonna get fired.
I think you're letting him get away with it. I think you're making some excuses. Like
No.
for the first two seasons, I completely agree with you. I don't think it's easy to just carry over and copy and print what you were doing at where you
So
are.
what is it about
You
the
have
third
to.
that you think a switch has to be like? Why do you
I
think it
mean,
has to be just a switch in the third?
this is also a business. After a certain point in time, results have to happen.
No,
Right, but I'm talking about in terms of
hold
his
on,
system.
hold on. Francis, you're even talking about something different. I'm not even talking about the results. I'm talking about a style of play, a blueprint that we can see week to week. That's the only I'm not talking like I'm not saying you guys have to be finishing in the top 2 challenging for that's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying from week to week we should see a consistent style of play now in the third year that all you're gonna keep saying that his players aren't brought in, but we went through it last week. What's his name? Hodgland, that's his player. Xerxes, that's his player. He extended Bruno, that's his player. He brought in Casemiro, that's his player. He promoted Kobe. He was very high on Kobe Mainu, that's his player. Garnacho is his player. Anthony is his player. Who else?
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. Yeah, that's his player.
Who?
Lissandro
MM7.
Martinez. Big Seven, not Big 7. That's his player. Lissandro is his player.
You know what stat? Since you
Delict
guys are
is his
since
player.
you guys are so big on
Onana
stats
is his
today,
player.
how many games have
I'm not
those
talking
all
about
those
stats.
teams
I
played?
didn't even
No, no, no,
talk
no, no.
about
Hold on.
stats.
Hold on. I want all those names you just listed. Please check the stats for how many games they've played together.
This
This season
they-
alone,
No, 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 no. Even not even just this season. Check how many games all those players have played alone. Sorry, together.
Kenny.
Because that
You're
plays no
talking
factor.
About, you're talking about previous seasons.
they're
I'm
all
not
still
talking
quality
about that.
though, right?
That's what I'm
not
saying. You
talking about-
you can't EJ Mason Mount. You want to bring up Mason Mount? This man has played. I can count it on my hands. You can't just say, "All right, go out there and let's implement a system." You're the insurance guy. They have to get acclimated, right? So you want? Oh, it's
Dog.
year 3. Let's implement the system. They haven't
How many more
played.
years?
They haven't
I think-
played.
I think you're giving him an excuse. I do think so.
It's
I
not
gen-
an
I gen-
excuse.
I genuinely think so.
Let
I
him
genuinely think
continue.
so.
Let him continue.
Um,
On that note, I just want to say my stat before I forget it. This actually, I was shocked to hear this. Of the 21 possible points Manchester United could have obtained, this is the worst Premier League start in their history. Only 8 points.
And it's crazy. You know what's actually crazy?
They said it during the game.
You said that stat too, Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Another stat is this is the worst Prem start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been Ten Hag 2 of the last 3 worst, like statistically worst.
Yikes.
But my thing is, I don't even really care about that. I really don't. Genuinely, I don't care about that at all.
You just looked up the
Because
stat, but you didn't care.
Huh? No.
He just had it- he just had it ready to go.
No, they said it at the post game on Sunday. They said it. I didn't go look it up. They said it. But that's not what my thing is, because you know how I feel about clubs in transition. You already know how I feel. All the things I talked about, Arsenal, Arteta, when he first got there, all of that stuff. You know how I feel about that. My thing personally is the only thing I have an issue with, I'm not seeing a blueprint. That's the only thing at this point that I have an issue with.
I have a
And
question.
We can't. Go ahead.
His first season, did you guys see a difference, and did you guys see a style of play that was different from what we've been doing?
I saw you guys playing counterattack football.
Yeah, that's
and
what- that's what-
you
that's what
you
worked for you
had been
guys.
doing. That's what you had been doing.
Under Oli.
Yeah.
I'm talking about his first season when we finished third.
It was
Yeah.
counterattack football. Yeah, I remember we talked about it all the time. It's counterattack football.
That was just it. Counterattack football.
A
You
majority
guys,
of it, yeah.
yeah, come
A
on.
majority of it, absolutely.
I'm saying this because that season, and I remember talking to you guys about this, that was the first time where I could actually see us pressing consistently and actually doing a good job of it. That first season, that was the main difference between the previous year and when Eric Ten Hag came in. And then the
That was
Ronaldo.
the only difference between when Ali was coaching to when. That was the difference. The press.
That's what I'm asking.
The style of football was still the same.
That's what I'm
Nothing changed
asking
from that
though.
perspective. Yeah.
That's what I'm asking though. So there was a difference. And what do you always say? At the end of the year, the table's always going to show exactly who you are, correct?
Yeah.
We
yeah,
were the
yup,
third
100%.
best team in the English Premier League. That's not a joke.
Yep.
Obviously, there was still a lot of issues that kind of came uncovered the next year, the following year, last year. But finishing third in the EPL, you can't tell me that manager doesn't know like what they're doing, doesn't have a system. Like you have to be consistent of some sort to get results, right? Then following the second year, a lot of things got uncovered. Kind of saw the falling of like Casemiro a little bit, where he's kind of losing a step, and that hurt us a lot. And also, the injuries that we had hurt us too. We just couldn't get consistent play out of just makeshift changes. I always made this joke like we're gonna be sitting here 10 years from now from some of the starting lineups we had to put out there, and just laugh because it made no sense. So that's my point. It's like you want him to just now, all right, it's year 3. But there's so many factors that you can't just now say, all right, let's flip a switch. I'll give you certain things. Yeah, I'm not saying nothing's ETH's fault. But you can't expect him to flip a switch with players that just are not used to playing together. That's my only thing.
I'm sorry. I just can't accept that. Year 3, I can't accept that. I'm sorry.
So if EJ, you play. So if you haven't played in 2 years and the coach's like, no, EJ, I just want you to be sprinting up and down the whole. So you're gonna be like,
So-
all right, coach, I'm gonna. You got it.
So you mean to tell me that these players have not played in 2 years?
Obviously, that's an exaggeration. These players have not played together consistent. Bro, look at our stat of how many different center back pairings we've had.
And you're
Dallo is playing
That's-
left back.
that stat is more attributed to last year than it is this year. This
the
year
7
we have
Seven games in, and I'm telling you, your issue is year 3. I had to see something. Those things play a factor. What do you want to see? They haven't been playing together. We're 7 games in.
I would like to see a blueprint of something.
Okay.
And here's the reason why I say that. Lissandro and De Ligt are his players. He
You know De Ligt
specifically
just got
chose-
here.
Right.
De Ligt just got here.
understand that.
Okay.
I understand that. But Mazraoui just got there and he looks good.
That's fine.
They came from the same club. They both came
They both came from
They
Bayern.
were on the same flight. They were on the same flight to Manchester.
Okay, but what did I always say about De Ligt?
You were never high on him, right?
Okay. That's ETH's fault. That's ETH's
but
fault.
Yeah, but that's my point. Your manager was. He chose him.
That's fine. But if you're talking about, it's not all De Ligt's fault that you're not seeing a blueprint. All I'm saying is,
it's ETH's fault. I'm not saying it's De Ligt's fault.
all I'm saying is, you can blame him whatever you want. We have a lot of players that are not used to playing with each other. So you can't expect a switch. Oh, I need blueprint by year 3. They need to play together. That's how things work. That's
So
my only
when-
point.
So when Man United, so when they have by the end of the year, or you know what, not even by the end of the year, by December, January, when they have actually had consistency playing together, and they're still in the bottom half of the table.
You want to?
What are you gonna be
That's
saying?
a little. Hey, if we're able to get the same lineup and the same players, and injuries are not killing us as it's done in the past, lovely. Let's go out there. Let's get some consistency. But what I always say, this team is consistently inconsistent, and that attributes to it as well. You want to put a time frame on it? That's up to you guys. But for me, I just know that we've had a lot of issues getting the same players on the same field. You guys are not. You haven't even mentioned that we haven't had a left back in like a year. In like a year and a half. And that has to do with his system, right? A left-footed left back. Luke Shaw, you guys know when he's in form, he's a very, very good player. And those things matter. When Luke Shaw comes on, Rashford has a little bit more space. Rashford's doing a thing. Luke Shaw can go up the flanks, give crosses in. All these things matter. But you guys just went, oh, yeah, system, blueprint. We have Diego Dallo, our best player last year, playing left back. But no one wants to talk about it. But hey,
I think you're letting him
move.
get away with it a little bit.
Yeah,
honestly.
Good luck.
But yeah, I guess Well, I'm with Man U. We'll see. Again, I think they were talking about they have
one
some
thing
sort
to
of,
note.
like,
Yep.
meeting.
Tomorrow, we'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
We'll see. No one knows, but obviously there's going to be a point to talk about his future. I'm still keep him in at this point. Yeah, at this point, I just don't see what a new manager, whether it's Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's going to be coming in with the same exact players. He's going to be under the same kind of umbrella. So to me, it just doesn't make sense at this point. Given to the end of the year, if you're not seeing anything improving, then by all means he's gone. But either it's Ruud or bringing somebody else in, it's not really going to change anything.
It won't change anything except for one man. And that's, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Mr. TT. He comes into Man United, and that's what I'm terrified, and I won't lie, because that's a top manager. He will get Man United in order.
Oh my God!
That I know. For
I think
sure.
I think he's holding out for the Germany job.
I
to be
hope he
honest.
does. I don't want him to even step foot in Manchester.
Well,
I don't. I'm not on whatever. If he comes, he comes. I just don't think any manager right now could turn things around. Any manager that takes his job right now will be setting himself up for failure. Like, let ETH do his thing. Ride it out.
can
Let's
he?
see what he does
What
at the end
is
of the year.
What is his thing? That's it. That's the point that I'm trying to
don't
let
drive
him-
at.
EJ, let it go. Let it go. We'll see it. We'll
Yeah.
see. Whatever his thing
let
is, we'll see
him
it.
get. Let him get. You guys are acting like this man hasn't done anything. Let him get consistency. Let him get the players that you, his players, right? Let those players gel, and then we'll judge him. But you can't
I'll
say,
be
"Oh,
honest.
so we need to see a blueprint."
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
be honest. Those cups that you guys have won is just paper in the cracks over the rubbish that's going on in the club.
But it's not by luck you
Band-Aid.
win those.
He's trying to say it's a band-aid over the bigger issue,
Yeah,
bigger
absolutely.
issues that are going on. That's what he's trying to say.
It's not a band-aid for me. It's not by luck you win those trophies. I'm not screaming down the hall saying, "Oh my God, we want to care about an FA Cup." But those are for a club that, based on where we are prior to not win in a long time. Those are things that have to be taken into consideration. That he knows
No,
what he's doing.
Ali won though, right? Or was it Jose? I can't remember. Somebody.
I
won
was
something.
Jose
Josie.
won the
I
Europa.
don't, Jose. Yeah.
On Europa.
I don't think Ali won. I think we lost. Yeah, Ali lost to I believe it was City.
okay.
I think it was FA Cup final, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
Chelsea 1-0. No, who was in charge when we beat?
You, I thought
Eden Hazard
you
down?
beat Arsenal.
No, we beat Man United.
Are you talking?
1-0
Oh, you're
Yeah.
being.
in FA Cup.
you're going-
Yeah. But that's fine. That's way back. Let's forget about it.
Yeah, let's.
But yeah, I guess that's the end of this weekend's games. We got the international break. Do we want to tap into the games coming in after that, or what y'all
Yeah,
want to do? Talk to
you
me?
can do a quick one.
Yeah, real
Just
quick.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So it looks like next week, or
I
in
think
2
we might be
weeks, sorry.
first.
Yeah, it's Man U versus Brentford.
Time.
on Saturday at 10 a.m. and then Arsenal Bournemouth at 12:30 and then Chelsea Liverpool. The big game. Prime time, 11:30 on Sunday. I have a game, but I'm not going. I'm not going.
Good. Lock in. We will be there.
Yes,
Man
we will.
United, Brentford at home. Brentford is a team that you have to watch from 60 minutes prior to the start of the game because they're going to score within 60 seconds. Very nervous about this game. We have to stay locked in. If they score in the first 2 minutes, I'm going to be pissed because at this point now, teams have to know stay locked in. Do not let them score early.
Start off locked in. Start off locked in.
Yeah. So I will predict. I'm hoping we get some much needed rest during the international break. I will go with a high scoring game. I will go with a 3-3 draw.
Go ahead, Francis.
It's at Old Trafford, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it's at Brentford.
Oh, it's
Nah.
at
It's at
Brentford?
Brentford.
I thought we were home.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not make a difference.
Yeah, bro, we're
It's
home.
Old Trafford. Old Trafford.
Brentford 3-1.
That's not a
It's not making a
surprising stat
difference.
based on how they've been playing. I wouldn't be
Brentford
shocked.
3-1.
I was gonna say 2-2. 2-2.
All right, next.
Arsenal versus Bournemouth, 12:30 Saturday. We're playing at Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth have been pretty good this year, but I think we'll win 2-0. I think it'll be a 2-0 win.
This is at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be at Bournemouth. We've had a really rough start to the year in terms of like fixtures, and things are finally starting to like calm down a bit. So I think we'll start to get into the groove. I'm hoping Odegaard's going to be back. He probably won't like start, but I'm hoping he'll be back after this international break and we can really start to get into our groove for real. So 2-0 for me. Martinelli's back on form. Want to make sure I let Francis know.
I'm gonna say Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say Arsenal 1-0, 1-0. It's gonna be a lot tighter than people think, but Arsenal will find a way to get through.
Yeah, I have a 1-goal difference as well. 2-1 Arsenal.
Damn, you don't believe in the clean sheets no more?
Not after you guys messed me up.
Hey, we won the derby. We won the derby.
You're ridiculous. My
In
fantasy
we won the
team,
derby.
I have Raya, Gabriel, Saka. Saka did me a solid, and you guys couldn't keep a clean sheet against Southampton. I'm disgusted.
Well, next time, stop picking an all Arsenal team.
There's one thing
That's
they
what you
usually do
get.
is get me a clean sheet.
Yeah, that's what
Disgusting.
you get. Yeah, that's what you get. Stop picking my players.
Last but certainly not least,
Drum roll.
Chelsea Liverpool. A rivalry rich in history
At Anfield,
at Anfield.
At Anfield, you will never walk alone.
And we won't, but we'll walk together as a team. With that being said, Liverpool is top of the table right now.
Yes.
Yes, top of the table. I think we're only 3 points off. Obviously, I know we had a tough game against Nottingham Forest. I'm confident, but I know Liverpool. We have not beaten Liverpool since 2021. That's the last time we beat them.
wow.
Yeah, I know. My gut is telling me that we're gonna find a way to win, but my head is telling me it's gonna be a draw. I'm gonna go with a draw. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
3-0 Liverpool. Mohamed Salah brace. Nah, I'm so sorry.
What did I say last
The
week?
cliff.
We can't sit here and act like Chelsea are not a wide open team. That's first and foremost. Secondly, Liverpool looks so much more defensively solid this year than what they have in the past. So, and the fact that they're at home at Anfield, I don't know why y'all think that Chelsea are going to score more than one goal. I don't know. Me personally, 3-0.
Yeah, I got
Ladies
Chelsea
and gentlemen.
scoring.
Go ahead, Kenny.
No, I'm just gonna say to that question, Chelsea been scoring all season, so yeah,
We haven't had
Liverpool's very much more solidified back there, especially with with kind of how they've been playing with their wingers sitting. What
Is it Allison hurt? Allison is hurt, right?
Yeah, with his
Is he?
hamstring. Yeah, because he got subbed off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I saw that in the game. Oh, what? Chelsea 3-1.
Let me change. No, let me change that because Allison. We all know how good he is. It could probably end up being a 2-2 or 3-3 then, because I really rate Allison as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Genuinely, great shot stopper, great with his feet.
But
sheesh. In the past couple of years, he has made like a couple high profile mistakes, but because of that, I think that you guys will probably score.
But hold on. But how does that change to all of a sudden a draw? What happened to their solid defense?
3-2, 3-2,
Flip flop.
3-2, 3-2, 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want the record to show that this is now 7 weeks in a row. EJ has not predicted Chelsea to win anything.
We need a ticker.
You lost
Francis.
against City, but you lost against City and you don't want to count it. So don't do that.
6.
So that's 6.
Excuse me. 6.
Can we have a ticker?
We might
for
as
the
well
cliff?
put it right there.
Yeah, the cliff is now at Anfield.
Yeah. We move. That's fine. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Trust me, I will be there.
Much needed break. Rest up, Man United. You're gonna need it.
You guys need more than rest.
2 weeks.
Well,
2 weeks
yeah,
to
that-
make a blueprint. ETH. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I heard he does be watching the pod, so hopefully
Yeah.
he will take some of our advice.
My boy.
Come with a blueprint. But yeah, that concludes another episode of the Banter 3FC podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, we are on YouTube. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Show us love. The name of the YouTube channel is Banter 3FC. So show us love.
Facts.
Shout
Y'all
out to
enjoy the
Brighton.
international break? Oh yeah, shout out to Brighton getting that dub on Tottenham. Tottenham.
My team, Brighton. Yes.
Tottenham
Shout out
get
to Danny
battered
Welbeck.
everywhere they go. No matter what, they always will be battered. Scum.
But yeah, anyways, you guys, I don't know why you have such a disdain for
Yeah.
Tottenham. They don't even.
What do you mean? I'm a Chelsea fan. We don't like them. They're a bunch of
You and
bums.
Tottenham don't have anything to do with each other. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we do. Look it up.
London.
Look it up. Literally, look it up.
Yeah, but
You'll
whatever.
forget
You
about
can,
it.
you can have it. You can have it. You guys enjoy the next week and a half off for the international break. We will reconvene. Y'all be safe. Until next time.